Hey, it's me again. Feel like y'all haven't seen me in forever. This is it. This is the last video, so this is the last you're going to be seeing of me. Wow, that was my last slide in ever. We've come a long way since that first intro. Hey, welcome to American Government. Oh gosh, wow, that was really cringeworthy. I'm really sorry you guys had to deal with me this year. No, seriously, I was looking through all the videos I made the other day, just kind of reminiscing, and there's a lot of ridiculous moments. It's working! Oh! Welcome to week 6. Welcome to week 7 of American government. Wait a second, this is not American government. This is AP government. Cut the state government. So, you know what? It's almost Halloween, so I think I'm going to do this in costume. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Judge Lucas is in the house, and class is in session.
Where shall I go? What shall I do?
Frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn.
Can you imagine what the revolution would look like if it took place today? Anyway, you gotta be kidding me. I'll be back in a sec. Okay, I'm back. Second one this week. Where was I?
I hear you guys, but all I've literally said is let's talk about the Second Amendment today.
You'll never take my gun.
Siri, what's criminal procedure? Obviously, it doesn't have the intelligence of Jarvis. Dang it, Siri.
I don't think I like this game.
The right to publish, speak, and assemble comes without fear of retribution or imprisonment, unless Woodrow Wilson is president. We're gonna TP Mr. McNichol's house. Trump supporters storming Capitol Hill? They gotta mean like they're just outside protesting or something. Oh my gosh, they actually did make it into the Capitol building? There goes the speaker's podium. Welcome back, AP Gov. Damn it, I keep forgetting to take that off. Hey guys! Whoa, let's fix that. Doesn't mean the president is removed from office. Hey, did you know that impeachment doesn't necessarily mean that the president is automatically removed from office? Oh no, man, I had no idea. I never paid attention in my government class. You anarchist, monarchist. Mr. Lucas, there's literally an 11th Amendment right here in the pocket Constitution.
Hey guys, it's Mrs. Lucas here, and I have hijacked Mr. Lucas's page. So it's gonna be...
What are you doing?
Can I help you?
1910s that... preparing for this.
Back from fighting overseas, and they were like, hang on, wait a minute. Women were doing more than just working in the household. It was going well for them, and the women were like, duh.
So which will it be? The red pill or the blue pill? Psst. Hey, come here. Wait, hold up. Welcome back and... Oh, hold on a second. Hello?
No, wait, no, wait, no,
What a year. But hey, if any of you want to relive any of those lessons or brush up on your government knowledge or warn future students about what they're going to encounter in my class, feel free to look up any of those videos I made this year. They're all on my YouTube page. Just simply search Jared Lucas, CTech, and I'm sure you'll find them somewhere. Hey, now I've got to hand it to you all for surviving this year. I mean, the fact that you even got through this year is incredible in and of itself, but I could tell some of you were working really, really hard, and I appreciate the effort that you put into my class, and I hope I did a good enough job on my end trying to teach you in this crazy year. It's still unbelievable to me that there are a ton of my students who I still haven't even met yet. I mean, some of you have said hi to me in the hallway this year, and I don't even know your name because I can't put a face to it because I've never met you. I think when I look back on my teaching career, I'll remember you all as the forgotten class, or maybe the class without a face. It's just, again, so bizarre to me that I just didn't even get to see some of you throughout the year. And you all got to see me each and every week. And I'm sure you got to know me a little bit. But there were so many of you I really wanted to get to know better from my short little interactions I did have with you. And I just never really got the chance to do that. But who knows? Maybe some of you I'll have an AP Government next year as seniors, and maybe some of you will consider joining the Civic Simulations Club next year. If you want to do some of the awesome hands-on activities and simulations that we would have done in a normal government year that you missed out on this year, then I'd really encourage you to join the club next year, because that's kind of the point of the club. We'll get to do some of that fun stuff that you guys missed out on. We'll do Guns and Butter, which is an international relations simulation. We'll do more mock trials. We'll do Model United Nations. We'll try to have a legislative assembly as well. We'll do a cross-cultural simulation. We did all of those things this year in the club, despite being in the pandemic, but hopefully next year we can have those things run even smoother. If you're interested in joining the club, it's going to be every Monday starting in August of next school year. If you'd all have a passion for government, civics, and social studies in general, I'd really encourage you to join the club and be a part of it next year. If you want to stay up to date on that club or keep in touch with me and see what's going on in my life, you can always follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Mr_Lucas29. Now, I promise I won't post pictures of my food or anything lame like that, although if I do grill a good steak, I'll definitely post a picture of that. But sometimes I'll go live and discuss current events and kind of talk to students and former students that might be asking me questions about stuff. Sometimes I'll run polls to kind of see what you all think about an issue. Sometimes I post dank memes. Don't DM me though. I never check those. Now, I know in a typical year on like the last day of school, teachers like to get up on their soapbox and give you a little bit of life advice before you depart from their classroom forever. I went back and forth on whether or not I should give you all any advice, but considering how the last year went politically in terms of political violence and division in the country, kind of felt like I had to. My biggest piece of advice is to be an individual. Avoid mob mentality. As G.K. Chesterton once said, a dead thing flows with the stream, but only a living thing can move against it. Be this dude here, not all the mindless fools around him. Now, it's natural for human beings to want to gather with people that are like-minded and people that share the same beliefs and values they do, and they tend to form parties or factions, as James Madison said. Oftentimes, the main reason people form groups and parties and tribes is to achieve power and security. But pursuing power and security is not the same thing as pursuing truth. Factions and parties often try to demonize those who oppose them or stand in their way or threaten their power and security. The best way we can avoid dehumanizing our opposition and turning our anger towards them into hatred of them is to listen to them. And when I say listen, I don't mean just listen to respond. I mean listen to understand. As famous thinker John Stuart Mill once said, "He who knows only his own side of the case or the argument knows little of that. His reasons may be good, and no one may have been able to refute them. But if he is equally unable to refute the reasons on the opposite side, if he does not so much as know what they are, he has no ground for preferring either opinion." I know as much as some of you hated the critical thinking questions we did this year, that quote is exactly why I did them. Get to know your opposition. Understand why they think what they do. It'll either sharpen your own arguments or it'll change your mind. Normalize being exposed to opinions you hate. Normalize taking yourself outside of your own echo chamber and your own box of familiar faces and opinions. Normalize asking people on the opposite side of an issue questions to better understand, not so that you can reply, but so that you can understand why they think what they do. That'll help you better empathize with people across the political spectrum. Okay, so now that it's the last week of school, you only have one other assignment besides this head puzzle this week. You've got a Google form, and this Google form has simply 10 questions over the different regions we've talked about the last few weeks. It's basically a regions wrap-up. That, along with this ed puzzle, is going to be due on Wednesday. Then there's one last optional thing I would love for you to do here at the end, if you would like to. I do have an end of the year survey I'd like to link in this ed puzzle where you can give me some feedback. It's just a few questions. And even though I'm not planning on doing distance learning again next year, there's still questions in there that can help me be a better teacher next year. Plus, at the end of every year, I ask all my students what they think my political party affiliation is. As I told you at the beginning of the year, I try really hard to remain neutral and unbiased, and I try to shoot you straight on the different opinions that exist over all the controversial topics we discuss in class, and I try to practice what I preach. I really do try to give you everyone's side of the issue in a fair way. But I am human, and I'm sure my bias does come out sometimes. But asking you all at the end of the year gives me an indication of maybe if I was a little too biased in one particular way, and it helps me try to correct that for the next year. Again, you don't have to fill it out, but it'd be really helpful to me. Plus, there's an opportunity for you to say anything you would like about the class. And if you really hated my class, this is your opportunity to shine and let me know how you really feel. For the last time, have a great week.
Hey Grandma, what was it like being a student in the COVID-19 pandemic?
Huh?
What was it like being a student in the pandemic of COVID-19?
Well, dearie, I'll tell you. I put my phone somewhere, and this was before the holograms. I had a government teacher in the old YouTubes. The archives, you see here.
Hey, welcome back from spring break. I hope you all had a
Wow, Grandma, your government teacher was an idiot.
Indeed he was. Indeed he was.